There we go. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this panel of Living with Water, which is Territorial Waters I. My name's Sam. I'm one of the organizers along with Julia. We have two presenters here for this session, Dr. Mujie and Rosa Prosser, and each of them is going to present, and then we'll have the Q&A afterwards. I'm going to introduce each speaker before their talk. So first of all, welcome to Mujie, who is a researcher of digital media and culture and an experimental writer. Her research explores how literary aspects such as writing, reading, text, and language in digital computational technological conditions shape digital aesthetics. She is the author of the novella Mirage Time, 2017, published by Dostoevsky Wannabe, and her recent articles include Ideographic Writing, Language Act of Sound Image, 2025, and Media, Language, and the Technological Imaginary, 2024. Her talk is called Being Water, Ocean Media, and the Milieus of Writing with AI. I think probably the most topical talk, potentially, that we have in these sessions. So I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, go ahead when you're ready.
Okay, thank you. Let me share my screen. Yeah, so you can see my screen, right? Okay, so today, actually, this presentation is constituted by two of my projects. One is called Thinking Through Ocean. It's an exhibition in China a few years ago. And another is a project called Writing Cartography on Central Malacca. So it's something based in Malacca, Malaysia. These two projects are all exploration of coastal life in China and Malaysia. So today I'm going to present two examples from the two projects. They are all about writing with AI. So I articulate AI writing as a being water in a sense that they are like the water, have agential power and the relationality of symbols and signs, and also can mobilize the relationality of symbols and signs. So in 2022, I participated in an artist in residence program for an art exhibition, Thinking Through Ocean, in Southeast China. During this field trip, I visited some coastal areas at South China Sea. These areas are more modernized than other parts of China, but traditional culture remained and practiced in everyday life, from tea rituals in habitation to religious worship. This made me to think about what the role of writing and its tools of modern technology, such as AI, are. Which means how writing changes as a cultural practice in organizing and curating the order of symbols and things, instead of being a representation of cultural elements. As the theme of this exhibition project suggests, ocean shapes the coastal area in many ways. Can writing itself be seen as an ocean media through which its agential power facilitates the movement of matter and forms of science? Moving within writing, therefore, means to use words and symbols to engage with their environment and extract the quality of the milieus as a way of characterizing writing. In the field work of visiting the coastal areas of South China Sea, I found that certain Chinese characters and their inscriptions are being water in a sense that their making sense is relational. For example, In this left figure, it shows a character similar to the simplified Chinese character xin, meaning heart. Different from the character heart, the point in the middle. Let me show you in my mouse here. In the middle was put down at the bottom of this character. This movement of the point constitutes the meaning making of the inscription as putting down one's heart. It literally means setting one's heart at rest. In a similar manner, the right figure is an inscription of the simplified Chinese character hai, meaning sea, on one pillar of a temple. It is visually clear that the character entails the radical. The radical at the left side of this character means water, and the element at the right means field. So here, the meaning production of the character requires an act of imagining the interaction of water and field. In both cases, meaning production is a movement, an act of imagination that mobilizes and aligns elements of characters. So aligning with writing as a fluid medium, I was also thinking about how do we live with technology. If we can understand technology as an alternative sense of the building relationality. So I draw from Western and Eastern philosophy of technology, especially in Eastern philosophy. Technology is a process that transforms not only as a means of end, as an instrumentality. So French geographer and philosopher Augustin Burke proposes to understand landscape in a non-dualistic view. This view is the third way between subject and object, entailing medians of our milieus. According to Burke, medians means a being toward life. Living with a medial body thus means an eco-techno symbolic living for oneself. In such milieus, things exist according to the way we grasp them through our senses, mind, words, and actions. I take this example of Japanese tea room. The architecture of the tea room is empty and open to its surrounding environment in the woods or gardens. When designing Japanese garden, the designer Masuno points out a space of emptiness, stressing that objects in Japanese garden change according to seasons. This emptiness and openness condition the circulation of qi, which doesn't only mean air flow, but also suggests energy and force. Likewise, only there is a tea ritual, are tea utensils displayed and used for performance in the tea room. Tea utensils and tea rituals become a part of the circulation of energy and force in a necessary and minimal manner. Inspired by the cultural technique of tea room, my minimal use of AI in writing aims to facilitate the movement of words themselves and enables such a movement to circulate among the eco-techno-symbolic milieu of writing. So I use AI technologies to produce the eco-techno-symbolic medians. I first collected some words from the milieus of the coastal areas in China, especially these words come from like religious worship or cultural heritage. They take the cultural specificity of that milieu. So I put these collected words into InferKit, which is a GPT-2 based software in the form of a website. It generates some text. I then pick up some phrases and sentences from the generated text to freely associate with collected words by sensing their correlation. By correlation, I mean that collected words and generated phrases and sentences share similar texture and quality that can generate narrative. By this means, words become mobilized in generating text and narrative. The text and narrative, on the other hand, produce new milieu of words by generating new textures and qualities. Here is an example. I combined the phrase garden of Indian coral tree with a set of words and phrases. So this set include red Indian coral tree, monsoon and waves driving sailing, April and May, Arabian and Persian, olives. They together constitute a small paragraph. When red Indian coral tree blossom, monsoons and waves drive sailing. In the garden of the Indian coral tree in April and May, there plant olives from Arabia and Persia. This set firstly constitutes a milieu of words that allows imagination. The phrase garden of Indian coral tree can be associated with the set, together outlining an imagery as depicted in the paragraph using minimal conjunctive words. So I take this kind of methodology as the AI writing as a relational process into another project. So this project, writing cartography of Central Malacca, aims to give a wider picture of the post-colonial infrastructure in the coastal life of Malacca. I will introduce another way or approach of writing with AI, and then I will analyze the wider picture of this project. So firstly, in this project, I deal with the relational process of AI writing with text and also images. So I firstly selected a descriptive paragraph about the ecology of mangrove trees from a book focused on the natural environment of Malacca, Malaysia. From this source, I generated an illustration about the dynamic relationship between mangrove trees and their surrounding water systems. This illustration works by extracting keywords and relational structures from the original paragraph and translating them into a visual grammar, making visible the layered transitions from literary description to structured abstraction. Next, I input a list of literary words along with the illustration into DeepSeek, prompting the model to draw from the glossary to reflect the relationality depicted in the illustration. The task was to generate 3 sentences that together form a cohesive paragraph. This process aimed to explore how AI interprets and synthesizes literary language and visual structure, revealing how data relations are reconfigured when words are situated within both symbolic and spatial milieus. So this is a kind of code from the thinking process of the relearning function from DeepSeek. Basically, there are 3 steps for this. Firstly, the model established a swamp environment shaped by the presence of a saline wedge and tidal influence. This is based on the diagram, the illustration I generated. In the second step, it introduced freshwater eddies to alter the ecological dynamics, signaling a shift in the environmental configuration. Finally, the model integrated collected words, employing literary techniques such as comparison and metaphorical integration. These 3 stages function as a syntactic architecture, enabling the selected literary words to enter into new relational formations, not only with one another, but also with visual and ecological references. So this is a text generated by AI, by DeepSeek. So there are 3 sentences. Each sentence mirrors the stage of the each stage of the abstraction. For example, the first stage is based on the relational process of the illustration I gave. And the second sentence introduce a kind of agent to map out the relational process of the illustration. And the third sentence is to combine the literary words I gave to kind of use literary techniques to combine the cultural elements of literary words and the illustration, the relationality. So basically, for this project, my aim is not only to create creative writing for us to understand AI writing, but also I want to criticize the bigger data colonialism in post-colonial infrastructures like in Malacca. So I will look at some piracy and security system, canal and prison, undersea cable network, fortress and war at sea. They are kind of post-colonial infrastructures, and I want to use this spatial structure to guide or organize, synthesize AI writing and to transform them into a decolonial part of the AI writing and rethink about if AI writing can constitute our forms of life. Thank you. This is my presentation.
Thank you for such a fascinating exploration of technique and writing and inventions of technology.